Li Yuan-se's wife Wu Qin-li dies at 90. Deadly rains batter southern Taiwan, Kaohsiung seeks aid. Grasshopper swarms hit New Taipei amid summer heat. Trump raises Canada trade tariff to 35%. Former Colombian president sentenced to 12-year house arrest. Russian volcano erupts for first time in more than 500 years. Scientists make rhino horns radioactive to stop poachers. Chess Grandmaster Carlsen wins at Esports World Cup.
Hello everyone, I'm Oceana. Thank you for joining us on FUNDAY News. It is Monday, August 4th, International Owl Awareness Day, and here are our top stories. In local news, former Academia Sinica president Li Yuanzhe's wife, Wu Jinli, passed away on July 12 at age 90. A private cremation was held on August 3rd per her wishes. A gracious woman and Li's lifelong partner, Wu supported him through his Nobel journey and raised their 3 children. Torrential rains have battered southern Taiwan, leaving 4 dead and 3 missing. Over 3,000 were evacuated in Kaohsiung, where remote villages became isolated. Officials urge inclusion in Typhoon Danis relief bill. New Taipei faces a swarm of grasshoppers and locusts invading metros, buses, balconies, and stores, troubling residents. Many vent on social media. The Agriculture Bureau says the surge is a seasonal effect due to August's high temperatures. And in global news, U.S. President Donald Trump has raised the tariff on Canada to 35%, escalating a trade war with one of Washington's key economic partners. Trump said Canada has failed to cooperate in curbing the flow of fentanyl and other drugs across the U.S. border, something Prime Minister Mark Carney insisted his country was making vital progress toward. However, most goods from Canada will avoid the high rate imposed by the U.S. thanks to the existing trade treaty known as the USMCA.
The president also announced sweeping tariffs on dozens of countries as he continued his drive to remake how global trade operates. Nearly 90% of Canadian goods imported into the U.S. are exempt under the free trade deal, including fresh produce, energy exports, and many industrial goods. However, some imports, like dairy products, wood, and leather, may still face tariffs depending on how talks shape up. The decision, contained in an executive order, raises the rate from 25%. As the clock ticked toward Trump's Friday deadline to strike trade deals, he announced that goods from Mexico would be charged at current rates for another 90 days, avoiding a threatened increase to 35%.
Former Colombian President Álvaro Uribe was sentenced on Friday to 12 years of house arrest for witness tampering and bribery in a historic case that gripped the South American nation and tarnished the conservative strongman's legacy. The sentence, which Uribe said he will appeal, followed a nearly 6-month trial in which prosecutors presented evidence that he attempted to influence witnesses who had accused the law and order leader of having links to a paramilitary group in the 1990s.
Uribe has denied any wrongdoing. He faced up to 12 years in prison after being convicted on Monday. His attorney had asked the court to allow Uribe to remain free while he appeals the verdict. Judge Sandra Heredia on Friday said she did not grant the defense's request because it would be easy for the former president to leave the country to evade the imposed sanction. Heredia also banned Uribe from holding public office for 8 years and fined him about $776,000. Ahead of Friday's sentencing, Uribe posted on X that he was preparing arguments to support his appeal. He added that one must think much more about the solution than the problem during personal crises.
A volcano in far eastern Russia has erupted for the first time in more than 500 years, which experts say may be linked to last week's massive earthquake. The Krasheninnikov volcano in Kamchatka threw up in an ash plume up to 6 kilometers high overnight. Russia's emergency ministry said there are no threats to populated areas. Hours later, another large earthquake in Russia led to tsunami warnings in 3 areas of the peninsula.
Both events may be connected to a massive 8.8 magnitude earthquake that struck a similar area last week, which caused tsunami warnings as far away as French Polynesia and Chile. Russian experts had warned that strong aftershocks were possible for several weeks following Wednesday's earthquake, which was one of the strongest ever recorded. Sunday's 7.0 magnitude quake hit the Kuril Islands and could lead to waves of up to 18 centimeters. Authorities said that people in 3 areas of Kamchatka must still move away from the shore despite the low wave heights. According to the Kamchatka Volcanic Eruption Response Team, the last recorded eruption of Krasheninnikov was in the 15th century.
A South African university launched an anti-poaching campaign on Thursday to inject the horns of rhinos with radioactive isotopes that it says are harmless to the animals but can be detected by customs agents. Under the collaborative project involving the University of the Witwatersrand, nuclear energy officials and conservationists, 5 rhinos were injected in what the university hopes will be the start of a mass injection program for the declining rhino population. They're calling it the Rhisotope Project.
Last year, about 20 rhinos at a sanctuary were injected with isotopes in trials that paved the way for Thursday's launch. The radioactive isotopes, even at low levels, can be recognized by radiation detectors at airports and borders, leading to the arrest of poachers and traffickers. Researchers at Witwatersrand's Radiation and Health Physics Unit say that tests conducted during the pilot study confirmed the radioactive material was not harmful to the rhinos. South Africa has the largest population of rhinos, with an estimated 16,000, but the country experiences high levels of poaching, with about 500 rhinos killed for their horns every year.
World #1 Grandmaster Magnus Carlsen has won the inaugural online chess competition at the Esports World Cup. He will take home $250,000. The Esports World Cup, being held in Riyadh, is one of the biggest multi-discipline tournaments in competitive professional gaming. The inclusion of chess in this year's schedule was somewhat controversial, but the tournament's organizers argued that it qualifies as an esport as it is played by millions of people of all ages. This is the second time the EWC has been staged, and it comes with a total prize pot of around $70 million.
Over a period of 7 weeks, teams from around the world compete across 25 popular games, including Call of Duty, Street Fighter, and League of Legends. The EWC said that including chess this year has helped the game reach a new milestone, 139 years after the first world chess champion was crowned. At the Esports World Cup, competitors sit at their computers on a stage in front of a live audience, wearing heart rate monitors. Much like in traditional sports, there are large screens, big-name sponsors, and commentators. A number of Grandmasters took part in the online competition, which featured a group stage before the top scorers advanced to the playoffs. It was the world's best traditional chess player who clinched the title.
The answer for last Friday was C, statehood. The region has been fighting for international recognition of its statehood for decades. Did you answer correctly? Now let's delve into today's news. Russian volcano erupts for the first time in more than 500 years. Number 1, plume. 雨状的. The volcano released a large plume of smoke into the sky. Number 2, populated. 有人居住的. This island is densely populated with over 1 million residents. Number 3, aftershock. 余震. Several aftershocks were felt hours after the main earthquake. Next, we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. Which answer would you choose? You can write your answer in the comment section, and the correct answer will be announced tomorrow. The event was started through the efforts of owl and bird conservationists who wanted more people to know and take action about the decline in the population of many owl species. Since its inception, International Owl Awareness Day has been promoted by several different reputable organizations and institutions, such as the International Owl Center, the University of Bath, the American Eagle Foundation, and more. And that's all for today's FUNDAY News. Be sure to tune into FUNDAY News from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join FUNDAY for free. I'm your host, Oceana, and I'll see you next time.